eyes to the podcast for sure.
There's even like some spaces like where people are like really crypto heavy, but they're like about weed too. So like there's this one they call like Cardano Stoners Club. They have like spaces all the time. And like it's pretty funny. It's just like basically just like a bunch of burnouts like
That
us
trade
kind
crypto.
of. Yeah, the trade crypto. Exactly.
Hey man, we're a bunch of stoners who vape. That's what started this show. So
That's very true.
whatever the common thread is, it works. And speaking of that, what do you guys say? Are we ready?
Yeah, dude, I'm ready as I'm gonna get. Let's go.
All right, Gina, you know what to do. We're gonna let it rip in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all been enjoying your day, your week, your night, or even your year. Sorry, Friends fans.
423, baby.
Friends fans just cringed a little. Sorry, but either way, hope you guys are doing well. I am in the middle of a personal experiment right now. If you can't tell, I'm already lit like a Christmas tree, and I intend to see just how far I can get. Grabbed a whole bunch of these infused apple ciders. So we've been knocking them back, enjoying some libations. And I also picked up this nug that, like, for all the people who enjoy seeing the beautiful flowers that we get, just would you look at this? This is just out of control beautiful.
Just peep at that.
Like, look at this nug. This
Ooh,
nug
those
is
hairs look fucking tasty.
gorgeous. This is a little bit of some blueberry French toast from some folks called Tower 3. These guys are award winners out here. And yeah, pretty solid. It vapes amazing. Very nice, light, kind of a berry note that's in there. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But what the hell are you boys enjoying right now?
I'll tell you
Life,
what, man.
baby.
I'm high as shit already. Because I pre-gamed before the podcast, par usual. And I think I went a little heavy on the last one. I just finished off the last little bit of some live rosin I had, which was some sour alien GMO.
Oh.
And it was all about the funk, dude. For real.
Sounds
and,
it.
That one's really hitting me right now. And before that, I took a nice dab of something else. What was it? I have to look into my Boxo concentrates here. I think it was probably some of this garlic cookie. So I was just like all about the garlic this morning, I do have a couple other ones in here. I'm actually kind of stockpiling some stuff for a little, trip I'm taking here at the end of the month. So I've got all kinds of really delicious, good stuff in here that I can't try because I'm trying to like not dive into it yet. So I won't even get into those because I'll talk about them and then I want to,
I know.
So
because some of that shit looks amazing and it sounds like it's going to be fire.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks all terrible. Like, you should probably really wait because you're just going to be disappointed. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. But I do have two other ones that I might dive into today. One is like a jealous banana. And the other one is a rainbow belts.
Oh, I dig me some rainbow belts.
So I'll probably take another little dab at 2 of those. Or I might just do a bag of some of this private reserve vanilla biscotti from Northern Emeralds cannabis from up there in Humboldt County. The cannabinoid content 44%. 41 of that is THC. So this shit's it's a dank. And dude, out of the volcano, bro. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, that's what I've pretty much got going. As far as
I got it simple,
cannabis.
boys. I'm running a little bit of all gas,
No breaks.
no brakes.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go. This honestly, the strain's super good. I like it a lot actually. It's not like too anything. It's kind of just like it's like Goldilocks. Like they could just call this Goldilocks because it's like not too hot, not too cold, just right. It's not too dank. It's not too light. It's just right. It's good. I like it. The bud looks really nice too. And I don't know. It says it's like 26%. So it's pretty good. For me, I don't know, man. It's so weird. Like whenever I see ones that are too high, I commonly don't even buy them. I'm always like very skeptical. I don't know why. Like it's probably stupid to think that way, but I always try to go anywhere between like 20 and like 26%. Like that's like kind of like my go-to percentages, which probably means nothing.
No,
But in
dude,
my head it
honestly,
means
bro,
something.
here's the
So
thing, Chris. We've had this conversation before in the past. You don't necessarily need the highest THC content to get the most high. You know what I
yeah, and
mean?
like not all the time it's all about the high too. Cause like if I need to get more high, I just use more, right?
Exactly.
But it's if it
It's
tastes
about
good,
it's about the flavor and also about like the type of feeling you get from it. Because certain,
the level of high, or
exactly,
maybe
because you
the
might get a
class of
little,
high, class
yeah,
of high.
exactly, because you might get more of a head high, more of a body high, more of a tingly high, more of a spacious high. You know what I mean? It's all dependent on what sort of blend you got going on in there. I do it mainly just for science. You know what I mean? I want to see like all right, is this going to just get me like ripped where it's just like I'm dumb high to where it's like I know it's just all that THC, or is it going to be like a nice mixture of some other stuff as well to where it's going to be like, yeah, it's going to put me in my seat, but it might also have a nice content of some of the other things along with it. You know what I mean? And it's just like I see it and it's like, fuck it, let's try it out. Because I've also got a plethora of other things in my basket most of the time, so it's just like I buy it out of curiosity.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I'm finding too I see it a lot more and more in more congested markets is we'll notice that like harvest date will be really close to test date, but then packaging date will be 3-4 months later. And that now to me sets off a red flag, because when I see that in regard to these high testing flowers, what it usually tells me is what the test result reads and what I get as a consumer are completely different, because it's had time to dry and change even more before it got packaged. So it's something like we've talked about this in the past, that like I really encourage people to look at the dates on their products. You know what I mean? Like I have this French toast in my hand right here. Harvest date was 12/15/22. Test date was 1/24/23, and then package date was 2/16/23. So even though this tested on 1/24 at 31%, by the time it was packaged a month later, just short of a month later, what's changed? It's had time to oxidize. It's had time to ultimately change. And now what I'm using is not exactly what these test results are. And so it's something to just keep in mind.
Yeah, but when they're okay, so this is just like the dumb person question. When they're testing it, like they're trying to figure out like the makeup of it, but like they're not necessarily testing it solely to be like, hey, look, this is the percent it is of THC, period. Right? Because like the other, shit's not going to really change, right? Like
No, it all changes.
But sorry, what I mean is like what they're to me, I would have thought is like what they're ultimately testing for is like the safety element, not necessarily like the specifics of it. And like that's just they give that breakdown, which could change, but like it's not like from the time that was tested till the time that it was packaged, that it could be damaging in some way, or you know what I mean? Like,
So like what
it
you're
could
saying,
depreciate its like potency and like actual makeup, but it's not gonna like all of a sudden harm you more than when it was tested. Is what I mean.
what you're saying is absolutely correct. However, that's coming from a place of experience and education, right? You've been using cannabis a long time. You understand this construct. A lot of consumers take that number as gospel.
Like it's literal. Like that's exactly what it is. Like if they had a tester at home, they could test that.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, right? We don't have gas chromatographs that we can just test the weed on.
Oh, you don't? You guys don't have one? Oh,
no, I'm still saving up for one, homie.
You guys are
man,
sleeping,
sorry.
bro.
Shit. So like that's where they've got us, right? Like we can't say that that's a technically not true number. But that being said, what is the rate of degradation? Now we're getting into some weird science that I can't even technically
because it all depends on
I can't
storage, how it
absorb that
was
right now.
packaged, how it's been
Exactly.
stored, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. How long has it been, stored for, and was it being stored properly? You know what I'm
Okay, so I
saying?
got a question for you guys on this note, right? So like do dispensaries around you guys, and like I assume that you guys would have seen signage or have information. Do they do well, maybe more so for James because he's in like a legal state. Sean, I'm not sure. But do they have fucking testing? Because like the dispensary I go to all the time, like they advertise that you can literally like whatever you grew at home or something, you can take it to them and they'll lab test it and they'll like give you the breakdowns of like what you grew. So like I could know what level of THC or shit I grew and like what terpenes were in there and shit, but I got to take it in.
I'm
to the
sure there's
dispensary.
somewhere that you probably could, but not every shop is. You can take your shit to. And have
Okay. Yeah,
I'm imagining.
I don't know if that's just at the dispensary I go to.
I'm imagining that part of that is also because you have a federally legal system where ours are state. So like you guys might be able to do a few other things that we can't.
Well, not only that, you probably have more facilities to where it's like more, easy to do something like that. To where like out here, we probably have like maybe 1 to 2 companies that test everybody's shit.
Yeah, like Massachusetts is the same story. It's like 3, maybe 4 different labs that are equipped to actually do the full test. And like I read COAs on a regular basis, so
you got to think about how they have to, what kind of licensing they have to be able to get, and that's insurance, like all that sort of thing. With it being on illegal on a federal level, still with you guys having it legal federally, you guys will probably be a lot easier to get whatever paperwork needed to have more of those types of facilities.
That might be true, but you know what? Like the funny part is
dope though.
I feel like it's a challenge. I feel like that's a challenge.
I mean, like you can do that in mass.
What are you getting?
Like I can grow my own weed, and if I want to spend the couple $100 to send it to the lab and have this lab test it, I can have my weed tested by the same labs that all the legal companies are going to.
I'm sure you could do that here too.
But there's a barrier right there. I'm a home grower. Do I really want to spend $200 something to go get a test result? Or do I just want to fucking do it the old fashioned way? Smoke it. Did I go blind? Nope. Am I dead yet? Nope. Am I high as shit? Yep. All right. Success. But that's
things used
that's
to be so simple though. Like honestly, so like this is probably some people's angle, right? Like or opinion is that it used to be so mumuch simpler and like now it's too complicated.
Dude, back in the day, this is what it would be like. You go to your fucking dude, you know what I mean? And if he had a couple options, he'd usually have some swag bullshit. He might have some just like, some mid, like whatever. And then like he'd have like some, this shit right here's the fire. And the way you'd be able to tell is by how it looked. You know what I mean? Like how
You
the
pull
buds
that
look.
bag out the pocket,
Yeah,
you'd be like,
exactly.
oh shit.
You could tell, like, if one looks like the nugget Sean showed earlier, you knew that shit was the fire one, bro. That one was gonna get you fucked up. And then if you pulled out something that was a little bit more airy, can I had a little bit more stems, but the buds still look kind of decent, that was probably gonna be like your mid stuff. And then you'd have a bag that probably just looked like leaves, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was green,
Yeah,
it
like
was the
pure
same
shake.
color, but it was just like some fucking dirt, you know, whatever. And like the fucking buds are like real flat because you know we got it from like a brick from some dude. You know what I mean?
Brickweed. Yes.
Brickweed, dude. Oh god.
You know what I'm saying? So like that, and it used to be, yeah, dude, let me get the good looking buds, and then it was a toss up of if it was a sativa or an indica. You'd have to find out, you know, once you fucking smoked it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or if you were lucky enough to know a little bit, you could at least look
tell.
at the bud and be like, oh, it's
like,
super tight. This one should be an indica. Okay.
yeah.
You know, like
this one's more elongated, you know what I mean? More kind of like stretched out a little bit. That's probably a little bit more on that sativa route. Oh, that one might not be my thing, but it's the best one you got. Let me get it anyway.
Yep. Like, all right, I gotta smoke this 4 hours before bed because
Yeah.
I can't do it right before bed. But yo, like, I got an idea.
Dude, I swear to God, I knew homies that like quit smoking weed because of that.
Yeah, well, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I had a few buddies. Well, either that or there's a few times where I was just like, I didn't want the rest of my bag, bro. I was just like, I can't do this anymore, dude.
It's a prime example of why so many people in the culture hear about somebody who's like, yeah, I smoked weed, I had a freak out, and I'll never want to smoke it again. And they always have the same response. That's because you didn't try the right weed.
And then everybody's like, oh, no, everybody says that, but every time I'm like, well, do you know what you're getting when you're doing it? No. Well, then fucking find a
Like,
shop. Find a
Nothing's
weed
gonna hit
shaman,
the
bro.
first time perfect, and then you just like find it. Like that's gonna be pretty
No.
tough. That's a tough one.
I mean, it shouldn't be, right? Like if and now this is obviously
Well,
a big
nowadays
if.
it
It's a
shouldn't be.
in a perfect world, right? Like if you're in a state with dispensaries, in a perfect world, if you have dedicated, educated sales associates, bud tenders, if you will, then it shouldn't be difficult. They should
Yeah.
know how to ask the right questions to get the right answers to truly guide you to where you need to go. I mean, for people who don't know, like they want to smoke weed again and they haven't since, you know, high school or something, I usually walk them through a few different things, like the up or down question. You know, do you want to feel, you know, energized, or do you want to just chill out day or night? You know, that kind of an attitude. I usually go into overall experience of what they've done in the past that they liked and didn't like, and then what they're looking for beyond just up or down. And then I get into the flavor, because the flavor that they want from weed will help me guide them into a strain that will also affect them the way they want.
Yeah.
If they're, you know, if they're telling me they want, you know, something dank and skunky, but also uplifting and energizing, all right, that narrows down my sativas to usually 3 or 4 items that I'm like, these are the ones I can say hit all of those marks. But that's because I spend the time I do in the field learning what I need to learn to do these things because of my position. So not everybody's going to take it to that level. And that's something I've been thinking a lot about, actually. I'm kind of happy this suddenly just came up into my mind again. But I think legal weed has one huge hurdle to get over. And that's the fact that all the people who care about weed the most don't like the way that legal weed is structured. They want to keep weed a sort of sacred plant. And when you start getting big business and money and that sort of thing involved, it loses some of that to those people. And that's like an eternal struggle that the industry will always be faced with, is how to convince the people who care that their care matters. Because all too often those people who care end up in a big, you know, multi-state operator running it corporate style, and they get disillusioned with weed. And they're like, yeah, man, legal weed is stupid. I don't want to be a part of this. Can't do anything the way you're supposed to. And they just walk away and never want anything to do with it again. And then they tell all their friends, like, yo, if you love weed, you don't want to fuck with legal weed like that. Like, go ahead, buy some if you want, but You don't want to work in that world. And it's like, that needs to change because you need all these people to be passionate about weed, not just like, I kind of like weed, but I don't know if I like weed.
Yeah, but dude, that's gonna take like laws to get to the point where recreation and like the recreation's like more normal and there's like more of a culture that like people can get behind, but you're never gonna get every single person. Like that's just the way that
Well, like, that's what I'm
everything
saying.
I've ever
Like,
seen in my life is, right? Like there's people that literally think some of the greatest things ever invented are fucking dog shit and still refuse to use them. There's like all sorts of unique things that are like that like aren't even that unique anymore because there's a lot of people that are like, nah, like I'm not gonna let them tell me how many plants I can grow. I'm not gonna let them tell me what I can do with my plants. I'm not like that. Those people literally were part of like fuck the man. Like I'm fucking like this is ridiculous. I'm doing what I want.
but that's the thing, right? Those people are the people who are passionate and have the knowledge.
Yeah, they ain't going
That
to a fucking dispensary to buy weed.
exactly, and those are the people that dispensaries need.
Yeah, it'd be great if they could get them in, and like that's what I'm saying. Like I think like some of those old heads might just like have to either break it or something. But
Well, I mean, I'm
as
kind of
the
glad you
culture
say
gets
that.
older, though, Sean, they'll be like really educated people that might be not that old head, and they're more adapt to like going to dispensaries, having those discussions, and like interactions with the entire thing, right? So maybe in time that's just gonna happen.
I think part of it is structure, right? Like I look at Maine, and Maine kind of lets it be so chill that it's like growing tomatoes. I mean, you can basically open a farm stand on the side of the road and sell your weed if you want to. Like, I think that's pretty fucking awesome. That's the future I want to live in right there. Just driving down the road. Oh fuck, I forgot some weed. Hey, look, Farmer John got some weed right here on the corner. Let's stop. Grab some of Farmer John's weed. Try that shit out. Oh shit, Farmer John got the hot fire. Let's go back. Like, yo, what a world to live in. You're like, yeah. Instead of Farmer John got the fire tomatoes and cucumbers, it comes summertime, he got the fucking fire weed all the time.
It actually, I can't remember if it was on the news or something, but I think it might have been the news. And there was some dude out west in British Columbia, and he has like a commercial like marijuana growing farm, like a cannabis growing farm. And he's been doing it since before it was legal for a long time. And like now he's just like he looked so professional too. He looked so professional. He's just like, yeah, like he's like, I just kept on going and didn't let them tell me that I couldn't. And he's like, and now like I just and dude, this guy's like literally hand touching like rows, dude. Like think about a farmer's field of wheat.
Oh
Like
yeah.
literally that's what it was like. And he's just like hand touching every plant, looking at it all over the place. Like this dude probably grew fucking fire weed, bro. Like I just
Well, I mean, there's a thing that a lot of people talk about in the industry about going from legacy to legal. And I think that is like what needs to happen more is like those guys who are growing weed, guerrilla style. We need to find pathways for them into the industry. Like one of my favorite examples is this right here. This is Smash Hits, a line created by ChemDog, the ChemDog. Like, here's a dude who back in the 1990s was growing fireweed and selling it and making a huge name for himself within the entire cannabis community. And he's able to have a line in the legal industry now. He gets to grow his own weed and sell it 100% above board. Like that is sick. And then we need
no, like
that
why
more.
would you not embrace that, right? But maybe like people are like nervous, like they'll just take it away from me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
don't
I
know.
think you're right.
I don't know
I think
how
you're
everyone
right.
thinks, right?
Like I know back in my hip hop season of my life, I did a lot of work with an artist named Mr. DL. So shout out to Mr. DL first and foremost. This dude is a legend. And I owe a lot of my coolest experiences to that man. I would have never done those shows with Onyx if it weren't for DL's help, because he's the one who put us on those bills. So like DL's the man. DL's also a dude who is responsible for the strain Purple Trainwreck. He's the man who first bred that and stabilized it and got that strain to exist. So like dope as hell. Dude's super smart. He's somebody the industry would thrive if he was a part of, but he wants nothing to do with that world, the whole corporatization.
So corporate, right?
You know, like he wants nothing to do with that. He'd much rather just grow weed in his kitchen and fucking sell it to the homies. And you know what, dude?
Gift it to the homies. Come on, gift it to the homies.
Fuck it. Fuck the man. You know?
But see, like I think that those are the kind of people, and like that's fine that they're like that, right? Like without people like them, we probably wouldn't be where we are. So like
I agree.
them, right? But like it is what it is. Like I'm like, oh wow, I can like go get weed, but like for me, I was never in love with all that hard work, right? Like I never put in that time. So I totally get their perspective.
Yeah, like I just want it to be fully legal for him to do him.
Yeah.
Like to me, like that's what I wish. Like I wish for that day where he can just like I said, like Farmer John can grow tomatoes and sell them on the fucking on his little farm stand on the edge of his property. Why can't we do that with weed? Like I think we should. I think that's the future I want. Like I want my man to be able to just grow his weed.
Need a license, but like maybe at some point the license won't be as steep. You know what I mean? Because I think that like the government at no point, maybe they will, I don't know, but like I feel like they're never gonna just be like, you can do whatever you want.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
They always want there's a little slice of cheese.
They need a little bit, yeah. They're making it so you don't get arrested and like it's chill now. Like
yep.
Sometimes you just gotta fucking pay the piper, you know? You want to do shit? There's nothing wrong with doing shit legit. There's nothing wrong with paying your fucking taxes and like being above board, you know? Especially if they make legal avenues where you can.
You just have to register as a farmer.
Yeah, dude. If you get like a small farmer's license for like $2,500 first time, and like it's like $500 a year after that or some shit, just like to be a part of this association or some level.
Right.
Yeah,
like that.
I'll fucking pay that.
That is what this world needs. Not these like it costs millions of dollars to get into the legal industry. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
we can simplify this.
I don't know. There'll always be like the point where new laws come in that people are like, what the fuck? Then they like change a bunch of stuff and they like make it easier, and then they like let that roll for a bit, and then once that starts to like not make them as much money or there's workarounds, they like change up the fucking game. Then they're yo, nah, you can't be doing all this. Like, we're sorry, but
like, oh hey, wait a minute, you can't have edibles that strong. What are you doing? No, that's scary. Like, all right,
it doesn't help that there's a lot of like just careless people on the planet, right? Like, just some people don't think.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Or they think too much. Like ultimately, there's just like there's extremes in everything. Just in everything. We can't always cater to every extreme.
It's true.
Am I alone on thinking that?
No, it's true.
I don't think that we can.
My head goes like, you're absolutely right. And what's crazy is I feel like that's what the world is doing these days, is trying to cater to every extreme. And
it's too much.
I hadn't thought about it like that
at all, you know?
Just think about everything that's happening in society, and it's pretty much exactly what's happening.
You know, I hadn't thought about it like that. It is. It's crazy. I know, like, none of us have children, but it like with the world like it is, like sometimes I look at shit and I'm like,
kind of scares me, bro, for the next generation.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to be responsible for having to raise a child in this craziness. Like, how do I explain this nonsense to a child?
Have so much shit. They just have so much that's accessible to them, just like, you know, at their fingertips. You know what I mean? That if you're just like not on them or don't allow them access to those things, then you know what I mean. Like it's
crazy.
Yeah, but like, dude,
I could see the struggle of being a parent.
Yeah, dude. Like,
if you weren't allowed to do technology and stuff when you're a kid, like number one, I think that would definitely be just mad gasoline for bullies at school because they basically call you like a Mennonite or some shit.
It's not even even that. It's just think about how much fucking society relies on technology now to where it's like you almost they have to know how to use it. You know what I mean? Because that's just the way the world is now. So like, and it's just like it's crazy because like there's like 3-year-old kids that probably know how to use an iPad better than 90% of
grown ass adults. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, all three of us grew up in a time where it still wasn't a common household item to have a computer. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, yeah, fuck.
Whereas
I was like
now,
10 years old when we got one, maybe even older.
then, think of what computers were at that time.
And exactly,
so
and now like
100, bro. That was like our first internet-based computer.
Macintosh, bro.
Now the cell phone is a million times faster than that computer was that we all had in our living room.
For sure. Dude, I had a Commodore 64.
Remember having to remember phone numbers?
Oh yeah, I can remember.
Yes,
very few that I can remember now.
Or having a phone book by the phone at the house with everybody's phone number in it that your mom used to keep a list of. Yeah,
where you had to put quarters in.
Oh my
Not even
God.
like when you had cards.
I never used payphones, but I'd always go.
Do
you remember doing the collect, call, no pickup?
Oh yeah.
Hey, mom, I'm ready to come home from the party. So if you can come me, that'd be great. Click. You have a collect call from. Hey, mom, I'm ready to come home from the party. Do you accept the call? No. Click. All right. Sean's ready to come home.
Yeah, dude, that was clutch. Actually, there was a payphone that was up at the store, like the main corners of town, and you could call that phone. So like sometimes if I was just like at home or I was like coming from somewhere different, when I was probably like, 12, 13, 14 years old, like still in grade school, and I would just like call there and go like hang out with my friends because they did answer the phone. They'd just be kicking it at this like convenience store because they had like this like nice chill space in front. We'd just be like doing whatever, right, as kids. And yeah, we just call that phone and it would fucking ring. And it was an old ass payphone, like one of the ones that had no digital anything on it. I know that I'm making myself sound like really old, but I am pretty old. So
I mean, I'm also just kind of reveling in the fact that I feel like that's a example of just the way that Canadians don't waste things. I feel like that's an attitude of like, it works. We don't need to replace it.
Yeah, well, no, I think that this honestly though, Sean, this is like previous to those really being better than that. Like I'm talking about, so if I was like 12, 13, 14, right? That's like 92, 93, 94.
Yeah, like America definitely had touchpad payphones at that time.
Okay, no, it wasn't a rotary phone. Is that what you thought I meant? It had buttons.
Okay.
But there was no screen. So like now if I go to a payphone, if I can fucking find one, but at some point they switched to like these like big ass digital screens like this or like that. And it would like have like all this information, almost look like a cell phone screen.
Oh wow, yeah, no, we never had
like
anything like that.
Stuff. There was like advertisements or some shit. And it'd be like shilling you like
we just had a panel, like a little window, and it had like emergency phone numbers written in it. Like dial 911 for a real emergency. For non-emergencies, here's the fire department, the police department. Like oh, thank you, appreciate it. And there might have been like an ad for like one of the collect call services there.
I also kind of like miss phone booths a little bit.
I really
those like helped me out a bunch of times for like lighting cigarettes and like smoke joints and or like maybe like a quick like you're walking down the road and you're like I'm just gonna maybe go pee, just when I was like really drunk. I wouldn't do that like normally, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
Especially if it's raining, like you don't want to be doing that in the rain. No, but I kind of just miss phone booths. I don't know why. Even just the visual of them.
Yeah, they're not really a thing out here.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a long time,
No,
dude.
they've been torn out a long time ago. There is a British gift shop in my downtown area though that has a replica English phone booth outside on the sidewalk. So at least there's that.
I've seen them, but like just like here in this town, I don't think there's ever been phone booths or like well, they may have been public phones, like in certain places, like certain convenience stores may have had one or two like outside or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember.
Ugh,
It's been a long
payphones.
time, man. I've been up here my whole life, and a lot's changed.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely things have changed.
It's strange, right? Because like my wife came across the directory of our local mall from like 1997, and like looking at that and seeing what's changed,
So like that's the kind of phone it was. It just didn't say
Yeah.
Pacific Bell. It was like just said Bell Canada or something.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
yeah. See, and then that Pac Bell area, there would often be like the emergency card that I was talking about. Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't think this one. See, because up here we had there might have been even a card you could have got. I'm not sure. But they had like a call me card. So if I had this card in my wallet or on me, I could call my house for free, like no matter where I was. I would just like put in the card. Like once we had those card readers, I'd like put in the card and it would just let me call my home, my house. Cause my parents like got it for me in case I ever like needed to get home or whatever. I would always like basically have a quarter to call home.
Dude, that's sick. Like when I was a kid, we just had to like my parents would get me a calling card because something like that didn't exist, and so like as it would run out, they would just add some more money on it, and that way I would have to do dial the number on the card, then dial the number I want to dial, and all that dumb shit.
Yeah, see, like, but mine was like I could only phone my house.
Yeah. At least I could call anybody with a phone card.
Yeah, it was literally like you were putting money in there.
Yeah, like if mom's was at grandma and grandpa's house, I could call grandma and grandpa's house and get a hold of mom, like one of those situations. So, at least there was that. But like I know we were early adopters of cell phones in my house because I was always out like riding bikes and shit. Like I think I was 13 and I had like a small Nokia brick phone because I was always out and about.
I don't think I got one to my like freshman year of high school. And it was like this like Motorola flip phone that I used to play hacky sack with.
Dude, I think that my first cell phone, I was like 18 years old, man. It was probably like 1998 when I got my first cell phone.
Yeah, mine was like early 2000s.
Yeah, dude. And I had some weird cell phones in those early years because, like, I totally remember owning the Nokia brick and, hours and hours of Snake on that. Because, like, that was back in the era where, like, we had nights and weekends.
I had quite a few flip phones.
Evenings and weekends for free.
Some of the little slider guys. Ones where you'd slide it up and then the keyboard would be there and you'd slide it back down. Like the little
like a sidekick or some shit?
Like the Sony Ericsson one.
Oh, the little ones.
Yeah.
I miss my
Actually, the
BlackBerry.
Sony Ericsson ones, they had like a good speaker, like a little speaker.
Yeah, and they had like a little MP3 thing on them so you could download music to them.
Yeah, dude, I had one that was like that. It was so fucking small. Like,
yeah, it was tiny. Mine
it's
was
so
green.
small, and it played music. It had a color screen and shit. Mine, it had it's like an outdoor speaker, like a an external speaker. And dude, this shit would just pump. And like I remember when I got it, I don't know if like any of my friends had a phone that was like more pimped than this, and it wasn't even that expensive. But if we were anywhere and we were just like kicking it, like cranking bees, like just chilling, doing whatever.
It was a Bluetooth speaker before the Bluetooth speaker, bro.
Yeah, basically, dude. Even like at people's cottages, I just like fucking keep it like in a safer spot.
Remember when Motorola started dropping like all those crazy like attachment things you could put on like your razors and stuff? Like back in the day, where it was like a speaker attachment, or like they came out with like a phone where you could like put all these different things on it.
Yep, I vaguely remember that.
I don't remember if it was Motorola or somebody like that.
Did it like catch on?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I remember
if it did, I would have remembered the name.
I remember just before the iPhone was a thing, I had the first phone that ever had iTunes on it. And it was crazy. I think it was a Motorola, but it had like light up speakers.
Was it the chocolate?
No, it was before the chocolate.
Remember that phone though? That was another one of those sliding guys.
Yeah, this thing was like just an itty bitty little brick. But it had
a Verizon phone.
But it was sick, man.
Dude, there was the tiniest phones. I think I might even remember like something that was much like what you're talking about, Sean. But
like it reminds me of was it a Seinfeld episode where they were like, "Look at how small my phone is."
Well,
it fit inside my mouth.
I remember that was the thing. At first, they started off big, and then they got real fucking small, and now they're all fucking huge again.
Yeah, now everyone's like, "I'm gonna walk around with a tablet in my hand and talk."
Dude, like this phone right here is beat to fuck, right? Like it's fucking it's tapped. And I still haven't even used a phone that I've had. I bought a new phone, and I've had it for probably like 6 weeks, and I haven't used it yet. Because like I just beat my phone up at work so much that like I'm just so nervous about fucking getting to do it, and this one's still going, and I just fucking open out the new one and just demo it the first stage, or like drop it from like.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. You're gonna have to use it at some point.
I know, man. I know. Fuck.
I know. Give it 3 more weeks. That sucker's gonna be obsolete already.
I know.
Oh, dude, it probably already is. But I've never even turned it on. Like I've never done anything with it. I haven't even bought a case for it. Maybe that's the first thing I need to do.
Yeah, you should probably buy the case first. That'll help you get over your fear.
Up and put a fucking screen protector on it, bro.
Yeah, I just have to make sure I get the right one. I got I think it's like the newest iPhone SE.
Dude,
so it's like the 8S body or 8 body, but it's like newer shit. I don't care. I use my shit for a few things. That's it.
I got one of those dope screen protectors. It's got like the privacy glass on it. So like when you're looking at it from the side, you can't. It looks like it's off.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you got to be looking at it direct on to see it.
I'm running one of those right now. So,
but dude, the crazy thing is
can't see, and then
it's all cracked, and I haven't replaced it yet. So it makes my screen look like it's all cracked up. I've just been too lazy to take it off, put a new one on.
I'm very fortunate that and if you're a T-Mobile listener out here and you have protection and you don't know about this is probably what makes buying protection on your phone worth every penny. You can get free screen protectors for life from T-Mobile if you have protection on your phone.
I have one lying around somewhere. I just got to figure out where I put it.
But yeah,
I've honestly been thinking about upgrading my phone, but I don't know if I want to have to do another payment on a phone again.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like we're back here reminiscing.
I've gotten so used to having a cheap phone bill. It's nice. That's like, do I want to tack another like $20-$30 on a month? Do I really want to do that to myself?
Yeah, man. Do you remember when the new Fly phone was just free? Like, renew your contract. We'll give you a brand new phone. Oh my God, dude. Shit, I was on Singular back in those days when they used to do that shit, and then it became AT&T. So like,
dude, Singular was the shit, bro.
Their little fucking orange blob guy. Oh my God, the service was like some of the best service too. It's at the time
around here. It was for sure.
you know. That's just obviously why AT&T bought it, so they could have it. And then I find out now later in my adult life that AT&T is actually one of the biggest cooperators with the NSA.
That's fortunate.
So AT&T just willingly hands over all of your data, all of your phone calls, text messages, emails, everything that goes through AT&T servers. They hand it all over to the NSA
Sick.
willingly.
Yeah, but I guess like everybody's willingly signing that thing. I'm sure it's in their fine print.
I'm more than likely sure it is too. But
Yeah.
when they bury it under 46 pages of fine print, people
No,
are
I don't
like,
blame people for not
fuck.
reading it. Like,
Little do
I
you
wish that I
realize,
was one of those people that read everything, but I'm also glad that I'm not.
yeah, like I'll read 3 pages, maybe even 5 in a contract. If we start getting into 10, 20, 30 pages, I'm probably going to start to tune out.
Yeah. I'm pretty spent after like one, to be honest. I'm like, okay, what, like, give me the fucking pinpoints. Like, what's up?
I'll tell
Bullet
you,
point me. Give me the Coles Notes version of whatever this agreement is.
my contracts, I always kept 1 page when I had people write contracts for like video and photography because, yeah, it's all you need. This is what I'm agreeing to do. This is the amount we're agreeing to pay for it. All right, everybody agrees. We're done. We're done here.
Yeah, it's nice and it's clean and simple. I'm sure that it's not always like, easy, but majority of the time it's clean and simple.
I'm actually stoked. I've got a photography project coming up on the horizon that I was just contacted about. So I'm hoping that all comes together like we want it to. Because if it does, man, it'll feel good to get a new photography project under the belt. I haven't done one in a while, and honestly, I think I'm kind of itching. So that's cool. Break out some lenses, break out some props, have some fun again. Could be good. Could be good.
Get excuse me, get that juice flowing. It's flowing. Feel it, breathe it, be it.
Yes, exactly. Get back into the state of creation. Because, man, I haven't shot pictures in a while.
Yeah, dude. I haven't done that in a while either. There's a lot of things I haven't done in a while that I would probably really enjoy doing if I got back into it again. I just like we were kind of talking before the podcast, like I've just been in like a weird just space, I'm guessing for kind of for a while, I guess. And dude, I think it stops me from doing a lot of the things that I used to really enjoy, and I don't really realize it. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand that completely.
It's kind of upsetting, bro.
Maybe it's just because like grooves aren't always predictable and grooves aren't always noticeable until you realize it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily just complacency. Like sometimes it's just like,
oh, that's a big part of it for me.
well,
though,
yeah, but
for
it could be part of it. But like I'm just saying that I don't know if like that's the way it always is. So it just takes different amounts of time to realize it, and sometimes you can get out of it easier than other times.
Well, like I've been reading the Creative Act from Rick Rubin, and I know like one of the things that he's writing about in this has been that whole part of us is something greater than us, right? And like when we get into the just mundane routine that is our day-to-day life, we stop looking for the inspiration and we stop looking for the ideas, and we just focus on task A, task B, task C, task D, and so on. And it's about taking the time for ourselves to actually stop and admire the world around us, to let whatever that energy is come back into us and introduce us to the new idea or the new inspiration or the just random beautiful thing that's happening beside you that you may have just otherwise not noticed because you were too busy focused on this one thing. I know that's my problem. I get too into the routine of just day-to-day bullshit life, and then suddenly it's like I'm in a rut. I haven't done anything that feeds my soul in weeks.
You know, I'm gonna challenge myself, I think, this week. And I'm gonna try to like pick up my guitar and play for like, I don't know, like an hour a day. Half hour to hour a day, if I can.
Yeah, dude. I was
Work
gonna
up to an
say even
hour
if
because I
you,
don't know if my fingers can take a full hour
I was
off the
gonna say
bat.
half hour maybe, like the first time.
Man, even
And,
if you can
and
commit to 10
this is what I'm
minutes.
gonna do too. It's like I'm not just
Yeah.
gonna go back and just like start like riffing around on like stuff. Like I think I'm gonna come back and like almost start off like I haven't played before and like just get into like learning some scales and shit. That's something I never really took the time to do heavy when I first started. So maybe that might be a good place to start.
Nah, dude, that actually sounds like a fucking great idea. Because I feel like there's definitely some people that could start
Well,
in
there's
and
a
just be
lot to
like,
be
I
learned
want to
from
just play
scales,
music,
bro. If you know
I
how
just
to,
want to
if you
go.
know scales and you know keys and that sort of thing, you can almost play anything.
Yeah, and you can create more things because you've heard it already
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
know
yeah,
where you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
be, right?
Yeah, the scales are the key are one of the keys to music theory.
Dude, they unlock, and I already know a little bit about theory and stuff like that. So
Yeah, music theory is so interesting because like
it is, dude.
you begin to realize that like there are like this is math. This is music
That's
is
kind of
math.
why I like the Dead, bro. It's because like a lot of the stuff that they do doesn't make sense in theory, but somehow they make it
That
work,
sounds
bro.
cool.
I mean, in a similar vein, it's why people love Tool, right? There's this like ability for them to manipulate the math within the music.
Yeah, like changing the fucking
Time
the
signatures in the middle of a
time
song,
or
like
changing keys mid song and
yeah, like the fact that they
going
can
from a
write
fucking 4/4 to a 2/4 to like a whatever, you know what I
say like
mean?
they've used like 5/7s and stuff like that, like very very unique and weird time signatures. And I mean there's countless more polyphia, animals as leaders, a lot of different mathematic musicians out there. um when you begin to unlock the math of it all, it's scary what you can do.
Well, dude, it was cool because like even once I started like learning a little bit about it, it helped my songwriting at the point. It was pretty cool because like I always like lyrics were always kind of the thing like I could come up with, not pretty easy once I figured out what kind of melody I was trying to work with. But figuring out how to fucking come up with the chord progression or whatever to go along with it and like what key I should be playing it in and that sort of thing took me so long until I learned a little bit of theory. And then once I figured out where the where it started and what key it was in, I could figure out what chords led to what other ones that I could fucking blend together to create a progression to fit the melody of whatever song I was working with. And once I did that, dude, it was pretty sweet. You know what I mean? Like that was like a cool little moment where I was like, oh, I actually understand
Yep.
why I went from a G to a E to a whatever, I'm totally just like throwing things out there, but you know what I mean? I understood why that made sense.
Yep,
You know what I
because
mean? And how
it
it
couldn't have
connected
gone to
and
a B
why it
flat or an
flowed.
F here. Like
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
yeah, it doesn't work. It wouldn't have sounded right. But if I play it because it fits it within that key and it's in that scale, and like I said at the beginning, you know what I mean? That like so like breaking it down even more into like each note that you're playing within a chord and why it's in that scale can help you with because soloing and like creating like little riffs and stuff was something I struggled with so much because I never knew. I kind of knew what things were within keys just because of where my fingers were on the fretboard and a progression, but like I never really could put like a little lick together that
Like
often.
you could hear that what you're playing is right, but you don't know what you're playing.
Yeah,
and
I
why
didn't
it's
know
right.
what it was, and I couldn't explain it to anybody if I tried. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And
Oh,
like,
okay.
and that was and that was something that like because like I know how, like there was a point where I knew how to read music, not for guitar, but like I know how to read bass clef sheet music from when I was in band in high school, and I never really learned how to read music properly when it comes to guitar. I just know how to read like tablature and uh chord sheets. You know what I mean? You show me a chord progression or tell me what chords are in a song, I pretty much know what they are, and I could just figure out the picking pattern just from listening to it, or the strum pattern from listening to it, or whatever.
See,
Yeah,
like
dude, it'd be cool to get back
that
into it
stuff
again.
crazy of it. Yeah,
Kevin,
because like
honestly, shout outs to Kevin K, bro, because he's kind of been my inspiration. Because
Yeah,
I've
dude,
just
he's
been
like
seeing
playing
this
like
dude.
every
He's been
day,
like
dude.
solidly ripping for like the past, like I'd say probably at least a month or two, bro. Maybe more. I
Yeah,
don't
I'd
know.
say.
He's been going heavy, and he's just like I've been seeing the enjoyment he's been getting out of it, and it reminds me of the enjoyment I used to get out of it. And I just need to do it, dude, because I got two guitar cases staring at me in the face over here on the side, bro. One's got my dope ass Ibanez acoustic electric in it that I used to love playing, and it's just pretty to look at. And it's just sitting in this case, doing nothing, along with the two underneath my bed, my Gibson Les Paul, which is it's a fucking travesty that thing's not getting played. And then I don't know what else is under there. I think it's like a little nylon acoustic I got when I was like in third grade that I just kept around and I like fiddling around with because it sounds cool. Uh, and then I got like and then I got my Jackson Dinky just chilling over here like on the side of my hats. You know what I mean? Like and I got a nice little ukulele, a little acoustic electric tenor uke just chilling there that I don't play. It's a shame, dude. Oh, and I forgot the other day I was in my closet, dude. And you know what's in my closet, Sean? I got a nice little box drum that's called a cajon. You know
oh,
what I
you have
mean?
a
One of them bad
cajon,
Oh,
dude.
fuck yeah, I do,
I
bro.
love
I got one of them bad
cajon.
boys in there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, cajones are sick because you got for people who don't understand what a cajon is, like James just said, it's a box drum, and you literally can like sit on the top of this thing, but you can slap every side of it. But what's
And you get a
special
different tone
is
and
one of them
sound.
has a snare on the inside,
Well,
so you
it's got
can.
these two, like, I don't know what kind of, they're like almost like a nylon sort of string situation going down it, like in a triangle.
Yeah,
But when you hit it at the top rim, you get this snare sound. But if you hit it in the center, it sounds like a bass.
you
So
get
like
this like
if you
snare
hit like
wire
if
in
you
there. It's
hit
fire.
perfectly like with two fingers at the rim of the drum, it sounds exactly like a snare, and it's so crazy because you could just sit there and just perfect for little acoustic sets or little coffee shop sets, which is what I got
Yep.
it for. And I don't even play that anymore. That thing is fun to mess around with.
I've got a djembe over here actually, and it's funny because every time I go over by there, like water the plants or check on the fish that are over there, I make a habit to just play it a little bit, even if it's just like 30 seconds of just drumming on it because it's
Dude,
there.
there was a point where I was trying to get foot pedals and shit, bro, so I could play that while I was playing my guitar. So I could use the foot pedals to play the cajon
Yes.
I was trying to be like that one man band sort of thing, and it never happened.
It's a lot of
No, man, that's
work.
cool,
It would have
bro.
been
I
dope
mean,
though, bro.
It's a
It would've been
lot
I've
of
seen
so
people that
work.
sick.
do that shit, and it's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Like
and,
I'll
and then
watch
there was a
that
point
shit
where I
a
was trying to
lot.
just get a loop pedal so that I could just drop the little thing on the cajon, record it through the mic, and then fucking loop it, and then fucking pick up that. But I never did that either. I used
See,
to do it at my buddy's house because he had all that cool shit. So I'd take all my stuff over there and be like, "Hey, bro, let's do something cool." And we do like crazy, like weird, spacey jams.
I used to do the same thing because I had a multi effects pedal back in the day. It was like
Oh,
a
dude, I
80
got a.
channel. So like
Oof,
I had a lot of fun with that.
80 fucking
Dude, I don't know what
channels.
mine is. I think
Jeez.
it was like 18 or something, but dude, it's got like all these different plugins built in. It's a 6-line multi-pedal with dude, and I would just like sit there and every time we would just like
Yep.
mess with different shit, put up different presets, step on different pedals, and then drop different things. Oh, dude, you can get some crazy. Oh, dude, putting my uke through that thing, bro, was fucking nutty, dude.
Yeah, bro.
That shit was nutty.
What's sick too
You
is
ever
that
heard of
like
ukulele? Yeah. You ever
Have you heard
it?
a ukulele on weed?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
There's a dude who actually he's like run ukes and stuff through a bunch of different like distortion and effects pedals, and like you can do some wild shit.
Yeah, dude, they sound so cool.
I
Actually-
found a chick who plays harp through a bunch of different effects pedals, and
Yeah, I've
that's
seen that.
wild too.
I've seen one where she like hooked her harp up to like this thing to where like each string was a different key on her keyboard, and she was trying to answer comments through the harp.
So
Like,
crazy.
Dude, it was kind of crazy to watch because she was like totally like misspelling words and just like I don't know how you'd
I mean,
remember.
that's to say that's got to be incredibly difficult. The most I can do on a harp is go.
Because like each time you pluck it, like if you like, and if it resonated, it kept hitting the same key. So like you had to like bing, 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 like and stop it immediately after you plucked it before you moved to the next one.
Some fucking pizzicato.
Yeah,
that ain't easy. And I love the sound of piccato and pizzicato. Oh, it's the pluck work is amazing when you get it right. When
Pluck
you get
work,
it right,
baby. Fucking pluck work. Yeah. You know what I actually really like? I actually kind of there's been a few times. I'm not gonna say all the time, so I'm not obsessed with it or anything like that, but I've enjoyed it on multiple occasions. It's like when there's street performers and they basically create everything on the spot. But like it might take them like, 2-3 minutes to get everything set up. Like they'll start out with like one, and then I'll start out with another thing, and then they'll keep on building on it, and then they'll perform it like when it's all ready. Like that one Australian girl, she got like really famous. I can't
Tosh
remember.
Sultana.
No, that's not who I was thinking of actually. But maybe there's another one.
That's the thing, because that's an Australian girl who does exactly what you're describing and got really famous for it.
Yeah, this girl did it, and then she was like really famous. She was like on all like the I'd assumed that she was on like the Tonight Show or whatever. She was on like the Ellen DeGeneres show. I can't remember what her fucking name was though, and even what the song was. She had a huge ass song. An Australian street performer girl. She was like in her early 20s. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tones. Tones is in her name.
Yes.
I don't remember what it is. I know what you're talking. Dance Monkey's the song.
Dance Monkey. Thank you. But yeah, so like if you saw videos of her, Tones something.
Fuck.
Dude, I'll just find out right now. I won't tell you until you need to know. But there's like tons of videos of her like doing street performances like that, and but I've seen like multiple other people that do it, even with like electric guitars. Like they'll just like put certain effects on like a pedal through a pedal and like create like a bass sound through their guitar, then create like drums and like percussion of some level through their guitar, and they'll like play it with through the effect.
Tones and I. That's what it is.
Tones and I.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Okay. But yeah, like I think that's fucking cool. I don't even know why I was thinking about that, but we were just talking about maybe music, creating music. I'm high. One of those things. I'm not sure.
It blows my mind what some musicians can do, like especially like some of these kids who are doing like this classical slap style guitar. Have you seen any of this?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it, bro. I remember watching it when I was first learning how to play, and dude, some of these guys are intense.
Like it boggles my fucking mind.
Like, do you guys remember that movie August Rush?
No.
You guys ever seen that? It was with that kid that what else has he been in? He's in that new TV show, The Good Doctor. He plays like an autistic doctor or something.
Oh, I know who that guy is. He was in like a TV show too before that, where he played like the. Anyways, it was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, but like when he was younger, he played this kid that played guitar like that. Like he fucking would slap it and like do harmonics and that sort of thing. But and like ended up by the end of it composing this crazy fucking song because he got into like some music school or some shit. But anyway, after that, like I feel like a lot of people really got into it and it started popping up all over. And dude, people like incorporate full on, picking, strumming, slapping the fucking guitar to get different tones to where it's like they're almost
dude.
playing the entire song, bass line, drum line, guitar line.
Well, that's just what I was gonna ask. Like, have you seen this kid Alexander Misko? He's like a Russian kid. I'm actually
I
gonna,
might have.
I'm gonna screen share for this one because this kid is phenomenal, and we're gonna even let our viewers see it if they've never heard of it before. But yeah, this kid's phenomenal, and he literally plays everything, and he uses D tunes too, which I think is incredible. But yeah, you guys see it.
Got a capo. Yeah, I've seen this guy.
Like, this kid's out of control.
Just out of curiosity, like, can the listeners hear this also?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he's even able to nail the vocal parts. Look at that thumbnail. He's got a thumbnail that is like able to cut you.
It looks like a vampire thumbnail.
Like, legit. He's using his fingernails as guitar picks.
I actually had like a childhood friend that played like classical guitar, and he would grow some of his fingernails out long to play the guitar.
I believe it if you're playing
A lot of
classical.
people do when you play classical. Either that or they get acrylics.
Those.
How old is that kid? He looks pretty young.
He's at least in his 20s. This was 5 years ago
really?
when that was shot. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he looks like he's like 14 or 15 years old or some shit.
But like, there's so many people like him too that are doing that whole style, and it's incredible. Like, when I was picking up a guitar as a kid, we didn't have YouTube, so we had no idea people like this could even perform like this. Like, unless you watch some like Guinness video on TV and they have featured someone like that, like, you didn't.
Yeah, where somebody played that way and got super fucking famous.
Yeah, they were on the
make it on
news
television or
yeah,
something.
they were on the Maury Povich show.
No, not the Maury Povich show. Maybe Arsenio Hall.
Oh,
dude.
man. It's incredible. Like, there are some
people are
phenomenal
talented, man.
Guitar players. I just watched a dude this morning. He strung up a guitar with rubber bands and decided he wanted to try to write a song with rubber bands.
How'd it sound?
Actually, incredibly good.
Like, did it sound like rubber bands?
He was.
Like,
did he play the rubber band, man? Because he should have.
That would have been hysterical. But no, he actually wrote like a pretty heavy, like, chunky metal riff by like pulling on and plucking on
how did he get it to pick up though with rubber?
Microphone.
Vibrations too, maybe. I don't know.
You'd have to record it with the microphone, I guess. But that's crazy how he got different notes. You must have had to use different.
He said in a text overlay that in certain parts it was really difficult to make sure to nail the correct tension, because there were parts that, like, to get what he wanted, he was literally just picking up the rubber band off the neck of the guitar while like strumming on it in order to like so he had to like make sure he nailed the position every time. Holy shit. All right, I guess. How many strings does this monster have? I think I'm looking at like at least a 20-string guitar.
Those guys are gnarly too, bro.
Like,
because they're playing bass riffs and guitar riffs at the same exact time on those things.
Come on, show me in the description. Tell me that what. You're not even going to tell me how many strings are on this thing. You're going to make me count. 1, 2, 3.
That should be in the
14.
description.
20
14.
14 string guitar.
A 20 teen.
That's insane.
Well, dude, even just like 12-string guitars are pretty crazy. Like I remember my buddy's older brother had one. He was like a pretty good guitar player. Actually, both of them were pretty good guitar players, but they were like very acoustic guitar players. Like they didn't play electric guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he played like the 12 string. It sounded cool.
The
But
12
dude,
is
when you
cool
look at
because
it,
you get
there's so
harmonics
many.
along with it, you know, because each string is tuned to the harmonic of the string above. I've always wanted to play one. I actually had a neighbor across the street growing up that played.
Did he
It was
play the
kinda
12
cool.
string guitar?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He played like old, like bluegrass type stuff, but it was cool.
Yeah, 12 strings
My
are
buddy's
sick.
brother like
I've always
Pink
wanted
Floyd
a
and
self
shit.
resonator, dude. Have you seen that guy that does that type of stuff on a self resonator, Sean? Because you get some dope sounds out of that when you play that kind of style.
What's a
I forgot what his
self-resonator?
name is, bro. Somebody showed me him at work the other day.
Yeah, I can't say that I have.
Okay, what's a stealth resonator though?
Let me get the Googles going.
Yeah, it's like I'm confused.
A self resonator? You don't know what that is?
Yeah.
It's a guitar that you have you ever seen the like acoustic guitar? It's got like the metal pan sort of thing on the front of it, like underneath like the strings.
Maybe.
You'll know it when I show you. Let me see.
It's common in a lot of like bluegrass and things like that. Like it's not a banjo. It's still a guitar.
Is there still a wood body around it?
Yes.
But like, okay, so when people were playing it at some point, it was famous, like in the 60s or 70s or some shit. Like you could see a band that would be on like the Tonight Show or
like I feel like a band like the Allman Brothers might have used it in a song.
okay.
You know what I
Alright,
mean?
alright,
Like
yeah.
like something like that.
Or like Roy Orbison.
I could totally see Roy Orbison, you know, possibly
Okay.
using it. Yes, absolutely.
And
yeah.
it's still a guitar.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's still technically a guitar.
It's just a different style of guitar. It's stylistically different.
Yeah, it has a slightly
I don't
different
remember
sound.
what the dude's name is, but I found a bunch of videos on him though. I wonder if there's one within this.
Yeah, they've got a really unique sound to them because of the body that they are.
And there's like it's crazy that I still see instruments that I've never seen before that haven't been invented in my lifetime. Like they were invented before I was even alive, and like I'm only now learning about them. Like over the last 5 years, there's multiple instruments that I've never seen or heard before, and now I'm like, whew.
Well, I mean, just in like
That's
the world
crazy.
of guitar, like there have been variations of that stringed instrument through history, right? Like
Yeah,
lutes,
there's been so
winds,
many stringed instruments, and
you
there
know?
still is.
And
Oh,
I guess at that vein, it almost begs the question, like, what constitutes a guitar? Is it a six-stringed instrument with a chamber to resonate sound? Because I don't know.
Well, is it like a guitar family?
I mean, yes, absolutely, because you have
It's like
bass
we're not on
guitars.
like scientific names here because these are all man-made items, but like if there's a big family of guitars, then I'd assume that anything would fit that description would be a guitar.
So the dictionary definition
Damn
of
it.
guitar is a stringed musical instrument with a fretted fingerboard, typically incurved sides and 6 or 12 strings, played by plucking or strumming with the fingers of a plectrum.
A plectrum.
That's why we call it a guitar pick, because nobody wants to drop their plectrum. I blew out my plectrum on stage.
Yeah, I can't find the fucking song I was looking for, man. Or the
Nah,
dude.
you're good. You're good.
Could you imagine? I caught the guitarist plectrum last night at the show.
Yeah, it'd be like you should get checked out.
Oh my god.
So you might want to go see a doctor about that one.
That doesn't sound healthy. Oh my god. A plectum. I've learned a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new word.
Yeah, that's a word of the day.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I needed to know it or not, but I like that I do now.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you've got lap steels, which is like a whole nother type of guitar. And like hearing people play like lap steels through effects, crazy.
Dude, there's just like so many instruments, man.
Yeah. I mean, I follow a dude who plays sitar live to EDM music.
How is that?
Actually, surprisingly fucking good.
Dude, I've seen this
Okay.
this girl on it was on Instagram or something. She plays like this traditional Japanese, I think it's Japanese style like instrument. It's like another one of those string instruments that you pluck, but she plays it through like a board where she's playing like modern fucking music, but like along with it's insane. Fuck, what I'm gonna have to find that.
Down another hole. Let's go. Hopefully I catch the prize.
Yeah, here. I'll show you this is Evan Hatfield. Like EDM with actual sitar. Feels like a Friday night in Bangladesh.
Dude, I don't know what it sounds like, but it sounds like it's definitely a fucking vibe, dude. And just looking at this guy, I'm like, yep.
And like in a live setting, this dude will program this whole electric beat and then he'll just start jamming the sitar live. It continues. Like we could jump ahead here a bunch, and he's just gonna still be going hard. See, going hard.
See, going hard.
Just 6 minutes of just ripping a sitar
Damn it, dude.
dance beats.
But I don't know. I don't ever like any of these videos to where I can like just go to like my like folder and find them.
Maybe that's you can like one video you watch going forward a week, and then that might trigger some other algorithms and be set.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't find it.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. It totally has to do with music. What are you guys' thoughts on larger groups of people singing or choirs? What do you guys think about those?
It could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the application, I guess. Like, do I willingly want to go and just like partake in a church choir singing gospel songs? Probably not. But if you've got, say, you know, a band that has a choir in it and they're jamming songs and the choir is singing as the, you know, part of the backup and stuff, oh, hell yeah. I want to see that.
Okay. Yeah, I actually like them.
I feel like it could be pretty powerful sometimes.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily mean like church wise,
Yeah,
but
no, me either.
like I've seen so through music class and like everything, we went to like a bunch of trips and like I definitely saw groups of people, including even just like music competitions where like the band would go and you'd be there for like a whole day, maybe even 2 days back to back. And you'd be sitting in like the auditorium and you'd watch like the vocal choirs and shit. And they'd sing like some modern stuff. And like, I don't know, I always liked it. I like the sound of a lot of people's voices at the same time.
Yeah, I've actually been a part of it a few times, and it's kind of cool, dude. Uh, like I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but like I told you guys I did audition for like The Voice or whatever back when I was younger. And there was a point when we're all just like sitting in like the hallways, getting just waiting to get called in for our rounds of going in front of like whoever to like say yes or no or whatever. So like there's I don't know, probably about like 40 or 50 of us just in the hallway, dude. And one dude had like his guitar, which none of us were supposed to bring instruments. So I was kind of like pissed. I was like, man, how come this guy gets to bring his shit and I didn't get to bring mine? But anyways, he started just playing a song and like he's singing. And then next thing you know, one person hopped in and then two people hopped in. And then all of a sudden, dude, the entire fucking hallway just erupted in this fucking song, dude. And it was pretty fucking nutty, dude. It was a cool experience, bro.
Nah, see that probably would be fun to be a part of. I used to even like
Yeah.
love singing on buses. Like you'd be going somewhere on like a field trip and there'd be like 10, 12 people near the back of the bus, like kind of like from the wheels back, and you just like start singing something. Like I always thought that was fun.
It
I mean,
sounds fun.
I used to like singing around campfires, like somebody be jamming on a guitar and they'd be like playing like something. I don't know. There was like everybody knew. So like at a time of my life, like Against Me was like pretty heavy in like all my circles. And so like we'd be just out like just drinking, getting high, be like a big old bonfire, and like there'd be like two dudes with acoustic guitars like playing the same song, somebody be singing it, and it's just fun.
I'd be
You know what
that
I mean?
dude playing. Dude, I was that guy at the party that always had his guitar. When I was younger, it was always there.
Did
So
you ever play like jam with other people live? I'd like those in those
I would
kind
always
of
I would either jam and like sing myself, or like people would like kind of fucking just jump in or whatever. Like it always end up being like a little fucking because I would always have like these little riffs that like not riffs but like chord progressions that I'd put together that I just never had words for. But and all my homies freestyled or like whatever. So like I would just play some shit and they'd like do something and then like I'd come up with like a weird hook real quick or like whatever. And it was fun, dude. Good times.
Oh man, we used to take the the acoustic guitar hiking. Me and a buddy of mine,
To the beach, bro.
and
That's
we'd
where
like
we used
just
to
go
go.
like hike out into the woods and like find like some little spot in the middle of the woods and just like jam out and shit for a little bit.
yeah. Would you guys search for places that had like great acoustics? Like you're just like you see Sean and his homie being like, "Hello,
Parking garages, bro.
hello."
So
You know?
so funny you should say that. Yes and no. Um, we searched for where the spirit of the forest told us to go.
Okay.
Where the force led you.
And the spirit of the forest took us to this beautiful little just watering hole. It had to be like 10 to 15 feet around. That was it, real small. And it was at the edge of this big rock face. So like we were down here at the edge of the water and there's this big rock face across the water. So it was actually acoustically awesome.
There's this place I used to go to. It wasn't necessarily for the acoustics, but it was just for the view. This was back when I had my nice little 4x4 Silverado, so I could, do a little romping around in the desert. And we'd fucking go out in the desert, past this like power line road, and there's like this hill that you'd drive up over. Like once you got up over the top, you'd be able to see like, the sun, like as it was setting. You know what I mean? It was a chill spot to just fucking pull up. We'd fucking drop the tailgate in the truck, probably have a couple brewskis or whatever back there, just kick it, fucking jam, fucking watch the sun go down or whatever, and then figure out what we were gonna do for the night.
I used to love those spots. Like when they talk about all the stoners have one of those.
Dude, it's
I
like
know a spot.
those yeah, exactly. Those videos. Hey, homie says he knows the spot, and
We
then
used
all of a
to
sudden it goes to the view, and it's just like pow, and it's like all crazy.
we
There's
used to
another
have
spot
one
right
called
around the corner from the house that I used to go to. It's like up on these fucking rocks, and you could see all through like Apple Valley where I live now, and parts of like Victorville where I grew up. And it's like all like the like original like area where the cities where both cities started and kind of branched out, sort of. It's kind of cool.
I like that you found ridges. Like we had a spot called the Emerald Valley. And this was this like really cool spot we found in the woods where a tree had fallen over this tiny little stream. And the way that everything formed, if you sat on top of that big tree and you looked over the little stream, all these little ferns that grew up looked like little mini trees. And it just felt like you were a giant standing there looking over this river just running through because the scale was just perfect. And so we would go out to the Emerald Forest and get fried and actually like start to believe that we were giants looking over a mini forest.
There are a lot of dope places we used to go and ride when I used to ride dirt bikes, because there was a time in my life where we used to be able to gear up, fucking fill up our bikes and just take off from our driveways. And we just go fucking tear up the desert all around. And there's a couple spots like we go on our dirt bikes out here now where I live now, out by like the little private airport. And there's these dope little rock formations and shit out there that we used to actually go and use for like paintball and stuff like that. And we'd like do all these crazy little just tracks around through the desert back growing up. And now a lot of the spots we used to ride are like developed and like have houses, or like we've built like little civic center, or not civic centers, but like little shop centers or whatever. And it's just like, dang, dude, this city's changed so much from when I was growing up, because a lot of these spots we used to like I kind of want to go to like this spot around the corner from this house I grew up at and see if there's this little jump set that we built when we were kids, because that used to be this. We were like, hey, you guys want to go to the spot? And that was the spot, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody has like the quote unquote spot. Like that was our spot. You know what I mean? Like, hey, do you guys want to go ride to the spot? Like that. Let's go check out this. I want to see if it's still there.
I hope it is.
Because there's this one spot that we used to actually go ride at next to we used to just call it, hey, you guys want to go to Food for Less? Because it's next to like a Food for Less like grocery store. And there's this like crazy, like I don't know what they were doing there, but these weird like big ass berms built up, and we used to just like ride our dirt bikes and jump them and stuff. And like our spot was just like a little bit down, like through the desert a little bit, and that spot's still there. So I'm curious to see if that other one's there, because they built a bunch of houses and stuff like close to it.
Yo, I hope all of our listeners out there thinking of a spot right now.
Yeah, you guys, where's your spot?
I hope you guys go and find out if it's still there, and then shoot us an email over at thegreenroom.shedtime@gmail.com and tell us about your spot from when you were a kid and if it's still there today, because we want to know.
Man. Because there's always a different one in different phases of life. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a few, dude. There's a spot that we used to go to when I used to skate. We used to call it Luna's. There's like next to like this like right across the street from a Del Taco. It was just like this like bare like lot, like cement lot that had this dope drop, and everybody would just try to do like whatever they could do down the drop at Luna's. They'd have like every day after school, you'd see all the skaters there, just fucking shredding.
Killing it. Well, shit, folks. We've reached the end of the time here. Gina's telling me to wrap it up. So you guys know what that means. It's time for us to bring it to a close and do the sign outs. And that means Uncle Chris. Tell him what it is.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Always have a good time. So appreciate you two boys too. I'm gonna just say everything really quick. check me out Tuesday nights, KVTV's YouTube channel, for mixing it up. Just need liquid mixing show, just a conversation. It's good vibes. Check the three of us out Friday nights, Frames, Janklin Vapors YouTube channel for the green room. Same thing, other than no e-liquid mixing, but just good vibes. And go check out shedtimepodcast.com. While you're there, feel free to check out our Patreon. Every little bit is much appreciated. And I think that's it. So everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life. Frames.
Oh yeah. Shout outs to all the Shedheads again for all your guys' support. Make sure you guys are giving us 5-star reviews if you guys are enjoying what you're hearing here on the podcast, because that helps us out in the algorithms, lets more people know about the Shedtime podcast. And of course, go check out the website if you guys want to know more. There's links to all kinds of cool stuff over there, to past guests that we've had. If you want to, learn more about what they've got going on, or maybe catch a link or two that they may have dropped for us, you can go check that out. And of course, you can check us out over on my YouTube channel on Friday nights for the green room. You guys want a little double dose? We do some build offs, we do some hangouts, we do all kinds of just randomness over there. So go check that out. And other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing our damn thing as always. And I'm going to end it as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives. And as always, don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little bag or dabble, do ya? Sean.
Oh, yeah. So, my friends, thank you all for listening, tuning in with us faithfully. We really do appreciate all of you. And a big, big, huge shout out to the patrons. You guys mean the world to us, and couldn't do this without you. So we appreciate the hell out of you. With all of that, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because it's the Shedtime podcast, and we're about to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game, or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Suck, dude.
All right. I'm high as a motherfucker.
I won't lie. Me too.